Welcome, my friends, to the Solid Signal podcast for the week of January 19th, 2015. As I've said before, I'm not sure that I'll be able to do these podcasts every week, but I'm going to sure give it a try because I got such an incredibly warm reception after having been, quote-unquote, off the air for just a couple of months when I did my Consumer Electronics Show preview just a couple of weeks ago. So I'm emboldened, as it were, to take the time that it takes to actually give you a good quality podcast week after week. And after all, the final recording time is only 5 minutes, although I'll admit it usually takes me quite a bit longer than that to prepare, record, edit, etc. So let's get right into it. DirecTV announced this week the pricing for their 2015 NFL Sunday Ticket packages, both Sunday Ticket, which gives you just more or less the regular TV experience, and Sunday Ticket Max, which adds a few more features to the TV experience and also the ability to stream the games that you want to watch anywhere. Prices are up about 5 to 7%, and that brings up the question, how much is too much? Is there going to get to be a point where you're just not going to want to spend that money for live sports? It's also interesting to note that just a couple of weeks ago, Dish announced Sling TV, and Pinnacle, the linchpin of that streaming package, which is one of the most expensive streaming packages out there, is the ability to get ESPN. And there's a general feeling that those two facts are sort of combined, that the reason that Sling TV is going to be $20 a month is because of ESPN and because it's so popular. I've already talked about how ESPN and Disney could actually be receiving up to 25% of your average satellite bill for the services and programs that they provide. And a lot of that is going into sports. So I ask you, are we too addicted to sports in this country? Are we spending too much money? As a red-blooded American male, my tendency is to say no, that we are not. Because sports is a good way to grow a team feeling, to feel good about who you are and who your city is and who your friends are. It's the kind of entertainment that we can look at because it's athletic and because it inspires a high level of performance, that it's something that we can say is better than just your average, sit there and watch a sitcom kind of experience. But at the same time, these sports figures and the owners and the venue owners, and there's a lot of money changing hands here, and a lot of people are getting very rich at the expense of the little guy who just a generation ago would have been able to afford a box seat ticket for a baseball game or a nosebleed ticket for a football game fairly easily. Most of us will not make in our entire lifetimes what your average high-performing sports figure makes in a single year. And certainly, it's fair to say that your average cancer researcher or astronomer or science teacher or police person or firefighter is not going to make that much money either. And that does seem like an unfair way to go through our lives, doesn't it? But that's what capitalism is. That's what a market-driven economy is. We've told our satellite providers, our TV providers, that we want sports and that we're willing to pay for it. There does come a point where it's too expensive. Just look at what happened last year with the Los Angeles Dodgers and Time Warner Cable wanting to ask an utterly unreasonable amount of money from cable and satellite providers just for those Dodgers games. It was rumored to be $5 to $8 per subscriber per month for the entire year, not just baseball season. Pretty much every cable and satellite provider said no, and as a result, Dodger games were unwatchable in a lot of venues and a lot of homes in Southern California. That was too much to pay, and cable and satellite providers effectively communicated that they weren't willing to up their customers' bills by $20 a month just for baseball. It was announced also about a month ago that DirecTV will be increasing the sports surcharge for a lot of markets, up about $2 a month. And this covers those additional regional sports networks. It used to be that there was at most one in your area. And now there can be 3, 4, 5, even more in some markets like New York and Los Angeles. That is an awful lot of money to pay because most of these channels only really serve one team or two teams at most and don't have year-round appeal. As a regular person, there isn't a whole lot you can do to fight these sports fee increases. You have to rely on your cable or satellite provider to try to get the best possible deal for you, or if it's a case of a premium sports package, of course you always have the option to just not buy it. If you choose not to buy Sunday Ticket, for example, go to a bar or a restaurant that's showing those games. Now, the odds are you'll probably spend over the course of a month more than the $40 or $50 that you'd spend to have the games at home, but you'll also be in a friendly atmosphere full of people that you like, and there might be a little bit more value to add there. One way or the other, you're going to pay for sports. That's just a fact of life today, and it's going to continue to be a fact of life until people decide that they want to pay for something else. Do I ever see that happening? I don't know. But remember that with the exception of baseball that goes back about 150 years, the real modern sports system really only goes back 50 or 60 years. That's flash in the pan. That's practically nothing. And it really didn't start to come about until television was there to televise those games. And that could change. Television could go away, replaced by the internet. And sports could go away, replaced by who knows what, Candy Crush Saga, I don't know. But the point is, there's always hope. There's always hope that we will have a way to be entertained, to be inspired, and to truly rally around something that we can all get behind and somehow not end up paying individuals $30 million a week. That's it for me this week, and I invite comments as always, no matter how you listen to this, whether it's on YouTube or through my blog. Please let me know how you feel, and if you still continue to like these podcasts. A little insecure about them, and I'd just like to hear that you are still listening.